morning. My name is Julie Stratton. I'm the Senior Director of Surgical Services for Novant Health. I have the privilege of working with a great group of physicians and team members across the company. And my vision for them and my vision for Novant Health is that we have a true awakening of a very deeply embedded culture that needs to change. We need to awaken this culture so that we can create a surgical services experience that is highly reliable and repeatable. Across the nation, we have organizations that are continuing to struggle with wrong site surgeries, routine foreign bodies, surgical site infections, and yes, it happens within our walls too. You all know that. We have over 200,000 patients that comes across surgical services every year, and every single one of those patients deserves a safe and remarkable experience. In our current culture, what we have is surgeons and team members going through the motions, numb. They are not following the safety behaviors that we've laid out. They are choosing not to follow best practices that could help prevent surgical site infections. Power gradients are still there and are still very strong. They are rushing. They are multitasking and not hitting all of the benchmarks. All of this leads to safety events. In an awakened culture, on the other hand, it would mimic aviation safety. Pilot, co-pilot, a true partnership of an engaged and accountable team that is following our safety behaviors. They are working together. They are communicating clearly and crisp. They are adopting best practices because it's the best thing to do for our patients. And in that culture, those co-pilots wouldn't allow the pilot to fly the plane into the side of the mountain because they were afraid to speak up. Of their access in our current culture, we have opportunity. We have patients that are being scheduled at the convenience of others. We have physicians that can't get their cases on immediately because others don't want to give up their block time. We have cases that we can't shift to an outpatient arena because it's inconvenient. So in an awakened culture, what if? What if our patients could get online and see what are their options and let them choose, with some guardrails, what's best for their life? What if they could get online and see the pricing at each of the different facilities and choose? And what if we blew up block time? No, it's scary. But there are companies that have done it, and it's first come, first served basis. It can be done, but it is disruptive. All of these things impact our patient satisfaction. But if we were to disrupt this culture, we not only would improve our patient satisfaction, we would improve the quality, we would improve our access and our safety. And everybody deserves that. And so how do we make that vision happen? Well, we need a true partnership. We need a true partnership where everybody, team members and surgeons, are held accountable no matter what their title is. We need to connect with med staff to develop some goals and some accountability around, and rewards around what that looks like to take it to another level. I would also love to see a class created for team members on how to deal with this power gradient that is still there and still very real. We would love to see a retired surgeon or two come teach this class, more like a self-defense class. Not a PowerPoint, not a CBL, but something that teaches people how to deal with these situations. Equip a 25-year-old nurse with the skills that they need to deal with a 65-year-old surgeon who's very opinionated. So with that, I would love to see that happen. So, if we can awaken this team and disrupt the culture, we really could lead the nation in surgical services by creating an experience that is highly reliable and repeatable. And our teams deserve that, and our patients deserve that.
Great job. And I think we probably were all internally cheering, especially around some power gradient conversations, etc. One question that I have, you talked about the class, the self-defense class. One question I have around that is why self-defense and why not? So we're teaching our team members how to deal with the surgeons. Why not how to teach the surgeons how to not be that way with our team members?
Yeah, I think it's both. But what you really have to realize is there's this innate feeling from because of the respect of the title of the job. And even if they aren't coming in and being mean, there's still this hesitation that people have. And you've got to break through that. But yes, we absolutely need it from both sides. But we've got to be able to take that, like I said, 20-something year-old person, and if helping them get to the point. Maybe it's just a reenactment type class. I don't really mean self-defense.
No,
I was just trying to think, not like PowerPoint.
Yeah.
We've said it over and over for years. We do our safety stand downs. You've got a voice. Use your courage. Paula has said, throw yourself on top of the patient. But you still hear it. Why didn't you stop him? Well, because he was rushing. He wanted to get going. He's busy. He has office. So you just let him fly the plane on the side of the mountain? So it's still very real.
I love the idea. I like the image of self-defense. I understand what you were doing, and I think that kind of shifted the way we think about it, but I think we will do that. I mean, we do need to help people understand that we're counting on them and that we'll support them when they do get in that uncomfortable spot.
And that voice, giving them that voice, and then a safe place to practice it with a surgeon.
Yeah. Respectful voice.
Yeah.
One of the questions that always comes up, and I never quite have the answer, so I'll just put it out to everyone, is it's education and it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about how you convince people that it's worth the time to get out of the OR to do this thing that isn't the PowerPoint. Have a conversation with Denise Hall about time away from the bedside for nurses.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about that.
Right. Well, I feel like, and I know that would be a very big conversation, but the benefit of doing it far outweighs the cost of doing it. Because if we can prevent one wrong side surgery, if we can prevent one more routine foreign body, then it is worth it. Because you are talking about events that cost anywhere from as little as $80,000 to up to $500,000 in additional cost. We can make it happen because we need to make it happen. And it might mean off-shift work, or it might mean some weekend classes. We've done that before. You have to also think about the cost of the provider who's going to do it, right? I've got some retired surgeons in my mind already. I know who do it. Think about like a Will Walker doing that, right? And he can be very intimidating, but he also could help give people the strength that they need to work through that.
One more question? So, you talked about, and I agree with you, can't be one more PowerPoint, and I do like the self-defense. How would you start first? So we say, go for it, Julie. We want you to do this starting tomorrow. What would you do? How would you begin that process?
Just to ask a clarifying question, do you mean for the class or the component of accountability with med
The
staff?
accountability with the med staff.
Because I think they're both very important.
Yes.
Right. So, that's why I feel like we really have to get around the table with med staff and have some serious conversation about what does that look like, right? So our nurses catch hundreds of errors that are faxed in that, on the day of surgery, right? Thank God they catch them, right? Some don't get caught, they get through because of the Swiss cheese. So, but we need to stop that earlier, right? Consents that are wrong procedures, wrong patients, taking out things that have already been taken out, but they're, like, thank goodness they're caught, but what I'm saying is, it's very real. It's a great catches, nurses are doing a great job, but if that consent gets back, my nurses are getting written up. But what's the accountability on the other end for the continuation of sloppy work? We can fix that, but we have to partner with med staff to see what that looks like. Now, from the class standpoint, for me, that is really connecting with some key physician leaders that I think would do a really good job in building what that looks like. And really, I don't know if it would be a road show. We've done that before, and getting to the masses, because I think the key is the passion and the delivery of it, because that's when you get to people, and you have some, it's reproducible to even that message, right? And everybody's getting that same message of power.
I would love to also partner with you, so I think you're talking about medical stuff. I think partnering with the service lines would be very helpful as well, because we can further hold those physician partners accountable. So we'd love to partner with you on whatever your next steps are.
I think if we do it well, Paula, it could be seen as something, as a reward for team members, say we're doing this for you, to support you. And I literally picture in a Taekwondo studio, Will Walker comes out in a white. And you could do the whole image. I would.
The experience of what surgeons can say and how they can use the right words to stop it, because it's for that patient. So I agree, I love that.
Some of our surgeons don't even realize that they mentally create an image of a Taekwondo warrior that can't be beaten. I've spoken to.
They don't, and they don't see that, they don't realize the courage it takes somebody to muster up to say, no, you can't put that last stitch in because I haven't wanded yet. They don't, that takes a lot of courage, and unfortunately, they don't stop. They should stop, but they don't. And so then it takes our team to step in and say, you need to stop. But again, that's that accountability. They should stop. They know the rules.
And I think that's the counter to all of this, what you're saying, is you have to do the other side too. Because setting up the Taekwondo class makes it okay. So making sure that the physicians
And they'll
know.
support them.
Yes.
They're the black belts of the OR.
Yes.
We're all back.
We're gonna start. Jeff will ask me, when'd you start that?
I'll call Dr. Walker and say, you only have 2 years of retirement. You're done.
Don't you just love how when the vision is so compelling, look at what happened. We're all- So, by the way, we're moving to feedback.
We named it.
Paul and Jeff got carried away.
I'm happy to start. I love the word awakening. That was just visual. Great use of pauses. What sometimes happens, and you'll get this more as you become seniors, the room is full of people who either haven't been to the bedside, haven't been there for a while. You did a great job of painting the picture of what's happening at the bedside, what's happening in the arena, the facilities. So that's really a powerful way of delivering a message. Just enough drama. I mean, it's flying to the side of the mountain. Wow. What if statements? What if we could be? What if we didn't? Really nice job. And you got national and blew the whole thing up. And then in the Q&A, honest to God, your comfort level in the Q&A, I look at you, we show up. We should stop it. We shouldn't do it. I mean, that is when your passion showed up in that Q&A. Honestly, really, really nice job. And you started off in one instance with, you didn't quite know the question. It is always good to ask a clarifying question before stumbling down the path of answering the question that was not asked. Really nice job.
I think your style comes across as really authentic. And it's, you bring the point of view of someone who's down in the middle of this, seeing it up close every day, and like a leader up in the balcony looking down on it and seeing what's happening, what we could do about it, and you brought those two points of view together really nicely for me.
I agree with you. The wording that you chose was very strong. The word awaken grabbed all of our attention, and it immediately made me reflect about our healthcare system from, well, where are we sleeping? Where are we falling asleep on the job? And I think the parallel that you drew with the, airline culture of the pilot and the co-pilot working together as a team, so that, the plane doesn't crash, I think that was a great illustration for us to think about our own culture, and that, our co-pilots aren't necessarily empowered the way that they should be. So great choice of wording. That was very strong.
I just wish you were more passionate.
I agree with everything. I said powerful opening. The way you drew us in, and it was the awakening. What if? And took it back to what we're seeing, what you're seeing at the bedside, and the impact that can have on our patients, on our physicians, on our team members, and the accountability of that. Excellent job.
And one of the things that I thought of was the story when the pilot lands the plane on the Hudson.
Yes.
So in our world, sometimes everybody has said the right thing, done the right thing, respected each other, and stuff just happens. But if we don't have it right, and the birds hit the engine, we're not landing on the Hudson. And I think that is what people need to know, is to hear also, and I think you're the one who delivered that message.
Any tips?
I'll start. My favorite Julie is Q&A Julie. Honestly, when you were presenting, that's I need to give you the details. I'm an expert. All these things are very important, Julie. I like her too. But my favorite Julie is Q&A Julie. You are relaxed. You are awesome. So a little bit more of that in the presentation. Awesome.
The lid is on.